Hi developers, in this video we will learn about routing in Angular. So routing in Angular, it allows us to navigate between different views or components in a single page applications, and it helps to create a seamless user experience by rendering components dynamically without reloading the entire page. So this is the concept of routing, and its use cases are to navigate between pages like home page, about page, contact page in a website. Okay, and it's used for passing data, to transfer data between route using parameters, and routing is helpful in guarding routes to restrict access based on the authentication. And lazy loading concept, in lazy loading, the load modules, it loads only those modules which are required. That helps in the increasing the performance of our application. So now let's discuss the code. So for routing, what we need to do, we need to import routing module. Okay, so let's import router module. Okay, and import it here. Okay, so now what we need to do, we need to add the navigation links. Okay, so firstly we are implementing routing, so we need to move from one component to another component. So let's generate components, home component and about component. GC home. Okay, similarly we can create about component. Okay, similarly we can create contact component. Okay, so this I have created these three components, about, contact and home. Now let's move to app.routes.ts. Here what we can do, we can define the routes and their corresponding components. Okay, let's define the routes and their corresponding components. Okay, so the syntax is path. If it is a route path, then show home component. Home component. Okay, so it's imported automatically. So this is the default route for home component. Default route for home component. Okay, so now if you want to go to the about page, about component, let's make it about and write here about component. Okay, similarly contact component. Okay, so what we have done, we have defined the routes and their corresponding components. Now let's move to the app component. Here what we will do, we will place the router outlet. Okay, so what is router outlet, why it is used? It is a placeholder where the routed components will load. Okay, so it is a placeholder where the routed components will be placed. Okay, Okay, so let's move to the browser. npm run start. So what we have done, we have imported the router module. Okay, and we have defined the routes and their corresponding components. And in app component, we have defined the placeholder router outlet where the routed components will be placed. Now let's check it in the browser. It's building the project currently. After that, we will see how we implement the navigation. Okay. Okay, so home page works. Now if we move to the about page, so we can see that about page works. Similarly for contact page, it should work. Okay, so contact works. Now, if we want to implement navigation, navbar, so let's create a navbar. So navbar. So we will use router link to navigate to the different routes. Use router link to navigate to different routes. Okay. Okay. That's it. Home. Similarly, we have about and contact. So now let's check it in the browser. We have home, about and contact. But if we click on home, then we should come to the home page. And if we click on about, then we should come on the about page. And if we click on the contact, then it should show contact component. Okay. So let's implement this. We will use router link. So router link used to navigate to different routes. Router link is goes to this route. About and contact. Okay, and all this we have defined in app.routes.ts. Okay, so all the routes are defined here with their corresponding components. Let's go to browser, and if we click on home, we are on home component. If we click on about, we are on about component. If we click on contact, we are on contact component. And this URL is also changing if we are clicking about on home and contact. Okay. So we have discussed the routing. Here the router module provides the navigation. Okay, we have imported the router module which provides the navigation functionality in Angular, and router outlet in app component. What it does, it acts as a placeholder where the component associated with the current route will be displayed. Okay, and router link, it is used to create the clickable links to navigate between the different routes. Okay, so this is the concept of routing in Angular.